You're listening to the Trade Show Insights Podcast, Season 20, Episode 10. I'm your host and exhibit marketing strategist, Marlis Arnold, bringing you tools to improve your exhibit results. On today's episode, brought to you by the Exhibit Marketers Cafe, we're talking about what road trips can teach you about the trade show floor. My husband Alan and I just took our first vacation in 15 years. We covered just a bit shy of 2,000 miles in 8 days, checking off a bunch of items on our wish list. We got to experience cranberry harvest in Wisconsin and spent time exploring the North Shore of Lake Superior. I highly recommend both of these areas, which are truly undiscovered gems. You can feel free to reach out to me for recommended things to see and do. I'm happy to share. I'll also post some pictures in the show notes. We were also fortunate on the trip to have brunch and a sightseeing tour with Wendy Porter in Minneapolis. You may remember she was my guest here on Trade Show Insights for a conversation about sponsorships that drive results. We've got a link for that in the show notes in case you missed it. But of course, as a trade show and event professional, I couldn't help but notice a few lessons along the way. Lesson number 1, signage. We got lost a few times, often due to inadequate signs. Sometimes they were hidden behind overgrown shrubbery, or there was no street sign at an intersection. Why? Or the signs only took you so far. Like how they led us to the parking lot, but then we couldn't find the actual attraction. Where are you hiding, Pink Beach? We never did find that one. But I've never been so thankful for Apple Maps on my phone. It was my most used app that week by far. Now here's the lesson for event profs. Don't assume that everyone's a local and has been there before. Always look at navigation with fresh eyes. Organizers, can people easily navigate the venue? Exhibitors, how can you invite people in and help them navigate your space? Sometimes you're just a few missed signs away from a great attendee experience. Number 2, scheduling. Since we only had a couple of days in each place, we wanted to see all we could. So we tended to pack things in, and we're probably fortunate that a few of our planned activities didn't pan out. Leaving space in the schedule allowed us to spend more quality time at the places we really loved, like Split Rock Lighthouse. Here's the lesson for event profs. Unless you intentionally leave room in the schedule, people will always be racing breathlessly from one activity to another and never have time to process what they're experiencing. Let them be more in the moment. Too much of a good thing is still too much. This also allows for lesson 3, serendipity. Even with a well-planned itinerary, a few things are bound to go wrong. Like the Cranberry Museum we wanted to see is in transition, and so it was closed the day we were there. But after a short conversation at the chamber office across the street, I learned there was a local farm with an older lady who was happy to show off the history of her 5-generation operation. Turns out that was way more personal and made us feel like VIPs. Here's the lesson for event profs. Don't assume that you need to provide an endless stream of official learning opportunities. Allow room for exhibitors and attendees to discover the happy little accidents, as Bob Ross would say, and let the magic happen. Leave space for a few surprises because sometimes the most memorable parts of a trip aren't on the brochure, and the same goes for events. If you enjoyed today's episode and would like more, you can subscribe to the Trade Show Insights podcast and automatically receive future episodes on your chosen device. Simply search for Trade Show Insights in Apple, Spotify, or virtually anywhere else that podcasts are found, then click the subscribe button. Trade Show Insights is protected by the Creative Commons copyright license. You may feel free to share this recording with colleagues or embed it on your own blog as long as it's shared in its entirety and is not used for commercial purposes. To learn more, please see the link in the sidebar of the show notes at tradeshowinsights.com. Well, that's it for this episode of Trade Show Insights. Be sure to check out our show notes and archives at tradeshowinsights.com. You can also connect with me using the social media links or the contact page on the site. I'm Marlis Arnold. Thanks for listening, and be sure to join us next time for more tools to improve your exhibit results.